You saw the title. We are going to go over why we self-sabotage ourselves. There is a number one thing that I guarantee every last one of us do. It's real simple too. Like when I tell you, you're gonna be like, what? Yeah, it's real basic. So as y'all can see, this is a get ready with me. I am about to get ready to go to my uncle's birthday party. And yeah, I like to save my get ready with me's for when I actually have something to do, because a lot of the times I find myself doing my makeup and then I'm sitting at home. And when I sit at home, I like to lay down. And then when I lay down, I start feeling that my eyes are itching. And then it's just a waste of makeup. You know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and do my eyeliner real quick, because if I start talking, I cannot concentrate on my eyeliner or my eyelashes. So let's go ahead and do that in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I promise y'all, I have not mastered the art of doing my makeup, especially my eyebrows and my eyelashes, y'all. I don't know why. I just don't know why it takes me so long. So that's why I try to do it off camera, because if I were to sit and do my makeup all the way through, like I kid y'all not, we'd be sitting here about an hour and a half. And I know y'all don't want to hear me run my mouth for an hour and a half. So we had to go ahead and minimize that thing, because I wouldn't even want to hear myself talk for an hour and a half. Like, I'm just being honest. So y'all, this is a quick get ready with me. Y'all can see, like, I'm doing a basic face. I'm not doing much. I just put some regular brown shadow on my eyelids, went ahead and threw on a lash, nothing much there. But while I am finishing up my face, I just wanted to hop on here because there has been something on my mind, and I wanted to break this thing down with y'all, because I want to see if we have or share the same opinion. So my friend came to me one day, and she was dealing with somebody, and she was like, you know, she felt like she was about to be on the run, okay? And what I mean by that is, she says she felt like she was about to just cut all things off, because she was like, nah, something's not right here. Something's too good to be true. Something's just not right. And so she was, you know, the whole context of the conversation was self-sabotage. And it really had me thinking, it's not just her that, you know, does it. We all do it. We all self-sabotage at some point. It can be something so simple, like, let's say a promotion at your job or whatever, right? You feel like, you know, you have a chance, but for whatever reason, you hold yourself back, and you like, it ain't gonna happen for me. They gonna give it to so-and-so. Or let's take another example. Something so simple like a parking space, okay? Y'all could be pulling up at the mall or grocery store, whatever, and you like, man, I'm not gonna find no close parking spot. I'm gonna have to park all the way in the back. Why do we think like that? Let's sit here for a minute and ask ourselves, why do we think, first and foremost, so negatively? Like, why do we think so negatively as human beings to where we really think that something great can't happen for us? Now, obviously, a close parking spot is not something that you gonna like hoorah about. I get that. It's something, you know, I'm just throwing out examples, like stupid examples. But anyway, the whole thing that I'm trying to get us to think about is, why do we feel like greatness can't happen for us? Why do we feel like when we're put in certain situations that we have to run away because we feel like we're not good enough, or that we don't deserve it? There is one thing, one reason to self-sabotage, one sole reason to self-sabotage, that is the key to breaking that mindset and really getting yourself prepared to accept all that greatness coming your way, okay? That small little thing about self-sabotage is that we, in some weird thinking that probably was put on us during the domestication process. Like when we were little bitty babies, at some point we began to think that we weren't good enough. So let that sink in for a second. The number one reason to self-sabotage is because we think we're not good enough, or we think that we don't deserve greatness. Now, why do we feel like we don't deserve greatness? Like, why? Why is that? Why is that the thought process that we experience? I'm trying to like really sit here and break this thing down, because when she was telling me this, I'm like, well, you know, why do you feel like you have to run away? Why are you like, why do you feel like that? Now, get it? You know, I get it. Especially when we're talking about relationships. We're talking about relationships. We're talking about protecting our heart. I fully understand that. You don't want to put yourself in something that is going to, you know, break your heart or hurt your feelings. Like, we're humans. We don't want to get our feelings hurt. We just don't. Nobody does. I don't care, male or female. You could be the toughest and roughest thug out here, and you still don't want to get your feelings hurt, okay? So my point is, why is it though that we feel like we don't deserve greatness, and that we don't deserve, you know, wonderful things to happen for us? That is why I truly feel like we end up running away from certain scenarios that really could have been great. And, you know, they could have been great. They could have turned out more than what we ever imagined. But because we have that one little negative thought in our mind that tells us that we don't deserve that great thing to happen for us, we end up running away. And we've got to stop doing that. I feel like man, woman, or child, we all deserve greatness. We all deserve great things to happen for us, no matter the age. I mean, anything. And this goes back to basic principles. So I'm gonna let y'all in on the tea about me, okay? I used to be that person. I used to be a very like negative mindset type of person. I don't know why, but I was one of those people that felt like great things couldn't happen for me. Like, oh, I'll never be able to do that. I'll never be able to achieve that. I'll never be able to, you know, something as simple as buying a purse or shoes or having a certain car. Oh, I'll never be able to afford that. If you let's just back it up real quick. Let's back it up. There is so much, I just scratched my face. There is so much power in the tongue, okay? Let me repeat that. There is so much power in the tongue. If you are telling yourself something as simple as, let's go back to that parking spot example. I'm not gonna find a parking spot. Oh, I'm gonna have to end up parking way back. Baby, don't you think that you're not gonna find a parking spot? Because what happened is you let them words slip from your lips. You let the words slip from your lips and you let them come out, and that's exactly what's gonna happen. So that is the reason behind self-sabotage. One, because we let our words tell us, we let our words and thoughts, because let's just be honest about it. Our thoughts can have a lot of negative impact on how we address certain situations. If you're coming into something with a negative mindset, that's what you're going to get, is something negative in return. So going back to the thought of self-sabotaging and protecting our hearts, okay, well, sometimes we have to take that risk. Sometimes we have to be willing to say, okay, you know, let me just try. Let me let my heart be open to where we can possibly experience the greatness that is at our doorstep. We will block our own blessings so many times just because of the words we say to ourselves, the thoughts we think to ourselves. Or I had one more thought, but it just slipped my mind. So anyway, going back to the thoughts and the words, we sometimes can kill our blessing before we even get it, just because of our thoughts and our words. This is basic. Like, I know there are so many things, so many videos, so many discussions about The Secret. I've talked about that briefly in a couple of my other videos, but let's just think about the overall, like, what's the word they say? What is the, I'm stuck. Anyway, let's think of like the overall, there's a phrase I'm looking for, but it's just not coming to me right now. Let's think about the overall concept of what The Secret is. So The Secret is a book. Like I said, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but The Secret is a book. And this book was turned into a movie, and it's basically around the concept of like attracts like, okay? Whatever you put out into the world is what you are going to get back. But I mean, it's basically going over the basic laws of attraction, which, you know, I'm a spiritual believer. I don't classify myself in any specific religion because you know what, that's a whole nother conversation, but let's just leave it here as I'm a spiritual believer. And the concept of The Secret is based more on physics. So that's when I'm like, you kind of got to take it with a grain of salt. Like, just take what you want and leave what you don't need, okay? Like, and I say that a lot on this platform because I feel like sometimes as the viewer, we will watch things and we'll just take everything instead of dissecting bit by bit and taking what we need and leaving what we don't need. So take this with a grain of salt. But like I said, I am a spiritual believer, and the idea or the concept behind The Secret is more on physics, like attracts like, that we're on a energy field, okay? Well, some of it I do agree with, and some of it, you know, like I said, I take what I need and I leave what I don't need. But when we think about this concept of attracting what we want, okay, that's pretty much attracting that greatness that you want, telling yourself that you are worthy of deserving whatever it is that you want. If you want to be a full-time content creator, you have to say, you know what, I am worthy of being that. I am going to be the best at it, or whatever the case. If you want that new car, I deserve to drive that new car. I work hard. I'm going to get that new car. And speaking these things to yourself, speaking these affirmations to yourself until you get them. You speak it, you believe it, you feel it with everything in you. The like attracts the like. And at some point, whatever it is that you are manifesting or whatever it is that you want, it will gravitate to you. Okay, so that's the overall idea of what it is in The Secret book and movie or whatever, as far as the like attracts like concept. So when we think about that and we think about how we self-sabotage, that's where that's coming from, because we feel as though we don't need it. We think as though we don't deserve it. Well, what happens? Whatever it is that you're thinking, whatever it is that you're feeling, you're not going to get it, period. So we have to change that narrative. And how can we change that narrative? First and foremost, again, and I say this a lot on my platform, we have to change our mindset. There is just no way around it. We have to change our mindsets. Every last one of us, I feel, truly feel that every last one of us, every living being in this earth, human, not animals or dogs, because obviously they can't do the things we do, but any living human being on this earth, their story is worth telling. You don't have to be a celebrity or famous or in the spotlight just to have your story told. I feel like everybody's story is worth telling. Okay, so just as like, you know, just like these celebrities and, you know, content creators and entertainment industry folks, all of them have, you know, nice, beautiful homes and lives, or what we feel as though, because let's be honest, you know, we only see the outside. We don't see what goes on the inside. We don't see what goes on everyday, you know, occasion. We only see what we see. So get that through your head. Anything that you look at on television, on social media, you only get to see what you are allowed to see. So don't think or don't be envious or jealous of what you see, because what you see might not really be what you see. And you know that made sense. Replay it back if you need to hear it again. But I'm saying all that to say, every last one of us has the ability to have a certain kind of lifestyle. Every last one of us have the ability to, you know, drive whatever car we want, have whatever home we want. But if you are a person that tells yourself that you cannot have those things and those things are out of your reach, then everything in life is always going to be out of your reach because you allowed yourself to think those thoughts. It's just that is simple as day. It's just that simple. So how can we begin to change our thought process? How can we begin to make everyday strides to change our thought process? One of my examples, or one of my suggestions, get some kind of journal that you can start journaling every single day. And I did get this idea from The Secret, so I'm not going to take credit for it, but what I will say is it has helped me tremendously. Get a journal every single day. And the first thing that we can do in order to change our thoughts about self-sabotage or feeling like we're not great enough to have certain things in our lives, start paying attention to all the things that you have in your life right now that you can be extremely grateful for. Think about what what kind of car you drive, what home you live in right now. Think about the kind of clothes that you have, the kind of job that you have. Whatever the case, think about those things right now. And think about those things every day. And the goal in journaling about like your gratitude for the things that you have right now. Oh, I kicked my camera. Sorry about that. Let me make sure it's still straight. I think it's still straight. If it's crooked, I apologize. Oh, wait, it is a little crooked. Ah, damn it. Damn. I think it's good now. I'm sorry, y'all. If it's crooked, I'm on a time crunch, so I can't get up and figure it out right now. But I want y'all to start thinking about all of the things that you have right now. So many, like, let's just break it all the way down. Like, let's just break it all the way down. We are some ungrateful creatures, okay? We are ungrateful creatures because we will sit and think about all the things that we want. We constantly think about all the things that we want, which is not a problem. But not enough are we thinking about the things that we have and being grateful for the things that we have right now. Like, I'm just gonna call a spade. And when I say I'm guilty of it too, I am guilty of it too, okay? I'm not a perfect person by any means. I don't claim to be. So if y'all are on here thinking that, oh, Tony got her whole life together, baby, you are far, far from right. I do not have my life together. I do the best that I can, and I really pay attention to the situations that I'm put into. But do I have my life all together? No, baby. No, baby, I don't. I do not. And so, but what I have been doing here lately is as I'm moving into this creative space and thinking about all the opportunities that I could possibly have, which I thought about that anyway. I'm not thinking about that just because I'm getting into content creation or anything like that. I always think about the things that, I would like to achieve and the things that I would like to have. But I also come from a very spiritual place. I know that for one, first and foremost, everything is on God's timing. Golly, this camera is crooked. That's about to drive me nuts. Okay. I think that's it. I think that's it right there. But first and foremost, I think from a spiritual standpoint, I know that everything that I'm experiencing right now is because God's timing. That was God's timing that allowed me to experience those things. But I also know that there are things that the Lord God has not allowed me to experience yet, and that's because I still need to prepare. I talked in one of my other videos about the conditioning period, the preparation season, okay? The preparation season allows us that gap time between what it is that we're asking for and what it is that we are truly, truly wanting. In this space right now that I'm in, that you're in, that we're all in, this space allows us to hone in on what it is that we truly are asking for before those things happen, okay? So be mindful of that. Whatever it is that you truly, truly want or that you're wanting, It hasn't happened yet for a reason. And the reason it hasn't happened yet is because either you need to think long and hard about what it is that you're asking for, or you need to recondition yourself and prepare yourself for whatever it is that you're asking to come to you. Okay. So let's let that sink in. As far as when I say do your gratitude every day, think about things that you can just stop and say, you know what, thank you for X, Y, and Z. Or, you know, I'm grateful for so-and-so. I'm grateful for the car that I have, the house that I have, yada, 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 yada. The list goes on. Think about those things and then begin to think about the things that you asked for and see if you need to change them or if they still align. But the ultimate goal in this whole exercise every day, if you can, is to really just stop and be grateful. Okay. When you start to be grateful, you start to be more appreciative. You start to be more thankful. You start to be more aware of how you feel about things that surround you. And when you become more aware, that you are, in fact, worthy of having whatever it is that you want. You are, in fact, worthy of all greatness that is coming your way. And when you can really hone in on that feeling, baby, you can unlock and unleash everything that did not serve you purpose before, as far as like within your thought process. And you can really stop that self-sabotage from happening, because you no longer have those negative thoughts, those negative feelings, those negative emotions. You no longer have any of that. You have pure joy, pure bliss, pure gratitude, pure gratefulness flowing through you. And that's what you really want to get to. So, you know what? I'm on a time crunch, y'all. Let me just speed through some of this because yeah, I'm running late. So let me shut my mouth for a second and let me finish this. And I'm gonna just speed through real quick. So I promise y'all, I always try to make sure that I have a certain amount of time set aside so that I could go ahead and film all of my videos in one day, one setting. But yeah, you know, life don't happen as we plan all the time. So in this situation, I did have to come back and do this voiceover to go ahead and finish out the video. But I am sitting here cracking up because I don't know if y'all noticed, but it is so hard sometimes for a person to film a chit chat, get ready with me, because in one moment you're trying to get ready, one moment you're trying to talk, and sometimes I just cannot simultaneously do both things. So I just wanted to go back and reiterate that the whole point of the video on today was to talk about self-sabotage. So I encourage you guys to always make sure that you are setting yourself up for greatness, okay? It doesn't matter what kind of circumstance or situation that you might be in. Just always make sure that you are keeping yourself in a positive mind space to where you attract greatness all the time, that you attract perfect situations and circumstances. And granted, yes, all of them might not be perfect every single time, but you at least know that you are attracting those circumstances. You deserve greatness. I deserve greatness. And you just have to make sure that you're keeping yourself on that frequency to receive that greatness. Okay, so that is really all I have for you guys today. As you can see, we went ahead and wrapped up the face, and I'm throwing on my lip gloss and lipstick, and this is how the look came out. Very natural, very sultry, just it's fall. It's giving fall. But don't forget to subscribe below, and I will catch you guys on the next video. So till next time, love. Bye.